Hi, welcome to Mystery Mike. Thank you all for tuning in. My son bought this land next to me, and thank God that he got it. Now, my neighbor is my son. Can't do better than that, can you? And what we're doing here today is scaling trees. I'm going to let my son talk a little bit about the detail of scaling trees. So go ahead, Anthony, tell him a little bit about what we're doing here.
I just have a notepad here. I have the different species of trees written down, and we're basically just trying to figure out the total board footage on the property of each species, so that way you kind of know what kind of values here and make sure that you're not getting ripped off when you have it logged out. And it's good to just kind of know. And this is called a Biltmore stick, and you just kind of use this to measure the trees. So you come up to the tree, hold this 25 inches from your face. This is 25 inches long, so you come up to the tree, put that 25 inches. 4.5 foot high is like right here on me. So if I hold it out like that, put the hand right to the tree, and then you put the very edge of it without turning your head, 4.5 foot to just the inside of the bark, and then you just look over here. So this tree's really about 17.5, but we're gonna round down and just call it 17 on the diameter. And then we'll pace out 66 feet, and then you can see on here it tells you how many 16-foot logs are in this tree, and I've already paced this one out. So we've got 2.5 logs, so we've got two 16-footers and one 8-foot log, and that's going all the way up before it starts getting too crazy and too many branches on it.
All right, Anthony, thank you very much for that detail. That's really nice to know all that. Trees are very sentimental to me, to my family. Hate to really cut them down. I like to leave a lot up, but when a tree gets this big, it's time to harvest it, unless it's in an area where you want to keep it. But once they get too big, sometimes these trees die out, and when you cut this out, this lets the rest of the forest go up. Now we're going to make a field in here, and that's what we want to do, and that's why we're taking the trees out. But when you take big trees out like this, it benefits different things, different animals. I hate to cut them out. Anthony and I, we're going to go ahead and take the movie camera and take pictures of these trees, because they're so beautiful and they take so long to grow. You never see a tree like this in our lifetime again. But when they do get this big, these trees can be harvested, and it's a good resource. And depending on what you want to do with the land is the way you harvest it. But anyway, hate to see them go, but when it gets this big and you start taking trees out like this, it's good forest management. Right now, he's measuring the diameter, and then he'll write down how many logs, if it's veneer, or comments of how the condition of the tree is. And then you can see I put the red mark on it. That's one of the trees we want to have removed. And then on the back side, on the bottom, we'll put another mark. And what that does, that indicates to make sure that that's the proper tree that we mark to have taken down. Now he's going out to find the height of this tree. There's really a nice stand of chestnut oak in here. So you can see that the forest on the bottom isn't very thick because the trees in here are so tall. But when you cut them out, it makes the forest floor thick again. And then it renews itself again. This is the last one we're going to measure for today. And believe it or not, yep, we seen our first snow for the year. Alrighty, I gotta head out to the docks. Anthony's gonna head out to do some hunting. So let me turn this off for later. All right, we're back over on Anthony's property scaling here. We've been coming over actually quite a bit doing this. It takes a little bit of time. That's a nice big chestnut oak there. See that little tree over there with the leaves on? That's a beech nut tree there. They like to grow, or let's say they'll grow under shade pressure. They'll still grow. And the bear really like them when they get big. They love the beech nuts on it. And if there's any bear in the area and it's a big beech nut tree, there's probably claw marks in it. He's finding out how many board foot are in the tree by taking the diameter, and then he'll go back and take a reading. He'll use that Biltmore stick and see how many logs. One log is 16 feet, a half a log is 8 foot. And then you can use those calculations on how many board foot
You're gonna spray that one?
per tree. What a beauty of a tree. That's a black oak there. What's the dimensions on that, Ant?
33.
Wow. Do you think that will go for veneer? Boy,
Up until those little twigs.
boy, if that's not a beauty of a tree. Holy moly. That is really a pretty tree. That's a beautiful piece of black oak there. Anthony, what's the dimensions on that black oak?
33.
Boy, that is really a beautiful tree. Wow. That might even go for veneer. Anthony, this is 3 trees, but it will only count to 2 to the logger. Now tell me why.
Because this crotch here is less than 4.5 feet breast height. So this tree would be separate. This one.
Okay.
But this crotch here is 4.5 feet higher than 4.5 feet. So these gotta count as one tree. And when they cut it, he's probably just gonna cut right there, and this is just gonna be firewood.
Okay. So
And same with this one.
it's the height. It's the height of the crotch when they're doubled up like that. That makes the difference, right?
Yes. Whereas this tree here, crotch there is higher than 4.5 feet, so this counts as one tree. And honestly, this is probably all big firewood here. Because I don't think that's 8 foot, so they're probably not going to do anything with that.
All right. Look at these beauties. 2 nice big black oaks. Especially this one here on the right. Wow. That tree right there is a red oak. You can see the bark here. It's not as aggressive. It's smoother than, let me pick out a nice black oak. See the bark on this black oak here? Okay. If you come over here and look at this red oak, you can see the difference. It's more smooth and it's not like puzzled up as much as your black oak. Now let me show you a chestnut oak. And you'll see the difference between the 3. See how aggressive this is? That's a chestnut. Scaling timber like that lets you know how many board foot you have per species. And then you can find out what each species is going for per board foot. And then that will tell you the value of your standing timber. Okay, I hope you like this video. And just remember, be someone important. Be yourself. Until next time, God bless. See ya.